Hello, this is Vartini Rajagopal, Assistant Professor in the Department of Mechanical Engineering, GC Srirangam, and today we are going to see about production scheduling. So, what is production scheduling? Before going into production scheduling, let us see why do we need production scheduling. For that, let me give a recap about production planning and control. So what actually we do in production planning and control is we will be transforming the given resources or raw material into a value added product. During this transformation, we optimally want to use the available resource and convert that into a high quality product at a very low cost. So this is the basic objective of a PPC. So here what we are actually going to do is we are going to plan our production as well as control the production so that the objectives are achieved. So what are the objectives? We want to minimize the mismatch between the forecasted demand and our actual supply. We want to maximize the capacity utilization of facilities, and we want to minimize the work in process inventories. So these are the three objectives of any PPC. So in production planning and control, if you look at from the planning perspective, what actually planning involves is before actually starting the production, we will be studying the market for the product we are going to manufacture. We will be doing a detailed forecasting, then we will be coordinating and schedule the resource that are available. First we will forecast the demand, then we will see where to source the raw materials, and then we will schedule the availability of the raw materials. That is, the timing is very important for that. So these comes under production planning. There are different types of planning starting from aggregate planning. So first we will start with capacity planning. That is, before starting up an industry, we will have a long range plan of nearly 5 years. So for 5 years we will plan what should be our facilities capacity. So how many machines we should procure and how many labors we should assign to each machine. So those kind of activities will those kind of planning activities will fall under capacity planning. Once we completed the capacity planning, we will go on to aggregate planning. So in case of aggregate planning, it is a medium range. That is, we will be planning for 1 to 2 years. So in 1 to 2 years, what kind of products we are going to launch in the market, and for those products, what types of machineries are suitable. So like those kind of planning will fall under aggregate planning. Then based on the aggregate planning, we will be formulating the master production schedule. So this is actually the schedule which we are going to follow in our production plant. That is, this is the plan we are going to make. That is how much of units of a product we have to produce each month. So this is moreover of a medium range plan, that is for within a year, and for each month how much of units of products we are going to manufacture. That is master production schedule. Then we will be formulating the material requirement planning. So for each month, these will come under a short range plan. That is for each month. So we have formulated that I am going to manufacture 10 units of product. So for this 10 units of product, how many subunits of products I will be requiring. Okay. For example, I am going to manufacture a compressor. So in case of compressor, how much of units of belt conveyor I require, subunits of belt conveyor I will require. Okay. So for each product, I will be having sub-assembly products. So I will be planning how much of those requirement will be. Then based on the material requirement planning, I will be formulating the manufacturing requirement. That is, when to manufacture that sub-assembly. That is, which machine is suitable for manufacturing that particular sub-assembly. So these comes under the planning module of the production planning and control system. Okay. Then if you focus on the control, what actually happens is in control is, so we have planned the schedule. So we have actually for 5 years we have made a capacity planning, or we have made a material requirement planning and everything. So this is the action plan based upon the forecasted demand of the market. But the real-time action will take place depending upon the real-time situations, right? So there will be an actual production. So the controlling module, what it actually does is, it minimizes the deviation between the planned production and the actual production. Okay, that is what we are going to do in production activity control. We are going to minimize the deviation between the planned production and actual production through certain corrective actions. So the control module, what it actually does is, it makes sure that we are sticking to the plan. Our actual production is sticking to the planned production. So that is what the objective of a control module is. So in production activity control, we have 4 functions. They are loading, sequencing, scheduling and expediting. So under loading, actually what we do is, so we have a planned, we have a master production schedule or a material requirement planning, everything we have, right? Now I know that I have to produce, say for example, 10 units of product in this month. So how I'm going to assign those units of products or those units of jobs to the mission, that is known as loading. Okay, so how I'm going to assign a particular set of products to a certain set of missions. Okay, so this is only this deals only with assigning. Okay, I'm not going to talk about the order in which it is going to be assigned or the time at which it is going to be assigned. Okay? As of in loading function, what I'm going to focus is which set of jobs is going to be processed in which set of missions. That is loading. So here what I'm going to do is I'm going to assign the work to various facilities without specifying the order or the time at which the works are assigned. So when I say facility, it can be a department or a division or a mission or a group of mission termed as work center, load center, stations, or it can be a labor. Okay, I can assign a set of job to a particular labor, that is also known as loading. Okay, so what is the purpose of this loading? The loading deals with spreading the workload almost uniformly across the work centers. Suppose I have 5 work centers. I want to make sure that all those 5 work centers are uniformly utilized. So this is more like capacity utilization planning. Suppose work center 1 is utilized 80%, then I want to make sure that remaining work centers are also utilized by 80%. So this is the objective of loading. It wants to make sure that the work are uniformly spread out throughout the work centers. So that is loading. Next one is sequencing. So we have done the loading, that is we have formulated that certain set of jobs should be assigned to a certain set of missions, right? Now I want to know at what order, at which order the jobs should be assigned to the missions. Okay, that is known as sequencing. Okay, say for example there are 3 jobs XYZ, they are in a queue, okay, and they should be assigned to the mission 1. Okay, so XYZ both are standing in a queue. Now I want to know in which order they should be assigned to the workstation. That is, which job should be given higher priority. Okay, so that is what about sequencing. So sequencing will determine which job should first enter into the workstation, which will enter at the second time, and which will enter at the third time. Okay, but sequencing doesn't mention the start time and finish time of each job. Okay, remember, loading will make sure that only this set of job is assigned to this set of missions. It doesn't bother about the order in which it is assigned or the time at which it is assigned. Okay, the sequencing establishes the order in which it is assigned, but it doesn't bother about the start time or finish time of the job being processed. Okay, so objective of any sequencing rule is to minimize the waiting time. Okay, so the certain set of jobs are standing in a queue, and I want to make sure that the waiting time is minimized, that is the delivery delays are minimized. So this is from the perspective of customer. I want to achieve higher customer satisfaction and maximize the due date performance. So these are the objectives of the sequencing rule. The next function, that is the production schedule. So this focuses on the start time and finish time of each job. Okay, so we have seen loading, we have seen sequencing, that is the order in which the job is going to be processed in the mission. The next one is the scheduling. This will give you the timetable, that is the start time and end time of each job in a particular batch or a group. Okay, that is going to be processed on a mission. So the objective of scheduling is to minimize the time taken to complete all the jobs in a group in consideration with the idle time on each resource. Okay, we'll see what is the idle time on each mission in detail when we focus on a scheduling topic. Okay, so the total completion time of all the jobs in a given particular batch, that is known as make span time. So objective of any scheduling is to minimize this make span time. Okay, the last function of the control module, that is expediting, is so whenever we incur a problem, so we have made a actual production schedule, we have the planned schedule. So when there is a delay, okay, say for example the job X that has to be manufactured by 100 units and I have manufactured only 90 units, okay, and job Y that has to be manufactured by 80 units, the actual the planned production is 80 units, but actually I have manufactured 90 units. So Y is being manufactured in excess. Okay. So what I will do is I will expedite, I will faster the production of the X and slower the production of Y. So what I am doing, I am comparing the actual production with the planned production and I am taking the corrective action. So that falls under expediting. Okay. So these are the 4 functions of the control module. Now we are going to see in detail about the production scheduling. So production scheduling can be classified as 3 types: single mission scheduling, flow shop scheduling and job shop scheduling. Okay. When I say single mission schedule, as the name indicates, we will be having only one mission. Okay. So there will be only one mission. And there will be a queue. In this queue, there will be n jobs waiting to be processed. Okay. So all these jobs require only one operation. That is, after they get processed in this mission 1, they are converted to the final output. Okay. So in single mission schedule, the assumption is we have only one mission and n jobs are waiting in the queue. Now I want to find out at what order or at what sequence they should be fed into the mission. Okay. Say for example, the sequence is 2, 4, 1, 3. Okay. So if I feed the jobs in this particular sequence, my waiting time might be minimized or my delivery delay might be minimized. So depending upon the objectives, there are different priority rules based on which the single mission scheduling is being done. We'll see that in detail. So as of now, just remember, in single mission scheduling, we'll be having only one mission and there will be n jobs waiting in the queue, and we have to determine in what order the job has to be fed into the mission such that certain performance measure is maximized.